A fruit store sold mangoes at 90 cents each and oranges at 50 cents each. Now, tell me, is mango more expensive or orange? Mango is more expensive. How much more expensive? So one mango is more expensive than one orange by 40 cents. Simon bought some mangoes and John bought some oranges from the fruit store. So, Simon bought what? Did Simon buy any oranges? No. Take note, Simon only bought mangoes. And John only bought oranges. So you must be very clear. 2 persons, but each of them only brought one type of fruit. Okay? Now, Simon spent $3.90 more than John, but had 5 fruits fewer than John. So, Simon, he spent more, yet he has fewer fruits. Yes or no? Okay, so what fruit do you think Simon bought? Mangoes, right? Okay, because mangoes will allow you to spend more, but you get fewer fruits because mango costs. Okay, so you need to understand the question. So, how many mangoes did Simon buy? Okay, to solve this question, first, we know that one mango and one orange. Orange, usually I don't put O. I put OR because I don't want you to confuse you with the 0. I don't want to confuse you with 0, okay? So I'll put OR, okay? So, mango and orange, if you look at the cost, we know that mango actually costs more than orange. And it costs more by how much? 40 cents. Okay? So you can see here is 50 cents. And here is 50 cents. This is for 1 and 1, correct? Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to draw a second model. The second model we can draw based on this. Simon spent $3.90 more than John, but had 5 fruits fewer than John. So, Simon, John. Now, Simon spent more than John. Simon spent more than John by how much? $3.90. Yes? Correct. But for this model, the model that I've just drawn, this model, take note, is the number of fruits bought the same? Not the same, right? Okay. So to solve this question, first, I must make the number of fruits sold the same. Okay, so how do I do that? You can see. Since Simon had 5 fruits fewer than John, right? That means who has more fruits? How many more? 5. And the 5 fruits is what type of fruits? Oranges. And each orange is actually 50 cents. $2.50. So, now the next step, we can change the model such that, right, both of them has equal fruits. When both of them have equal number of fruits, that means I need to remove 5 fruits from John. Yes or no? Yes. When I remove 5 fruits from John, okay, the amount that Simon paid will still be the same, right? Yes or no? Yes. The amount Simon paid will still be the same. But the amount that John paid, now is it more or less or still the same? I am removing 5 fruits that John bought. So, do you think that the model for John, will it be the same length, or will it be shorter, or will it be longer? Shorter. Now I give you 30 seconds to think why is it shorter. After 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you to explain to me. You must give me an explanation. Why is it that the model becomes shorter? Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think about it. Why does the model become shorter? Why is it no longer equal, or why is it longer? Okay, remember now it's equal fruits. Okay, the previous case is John has 5 more fruits. That's for the previous model. But now, the new model, they have equal fruits. Okay, Jingkai, tell me, why do you think the model for John becomes shorter? John bought less fruits. Who bought less fruits? Never mind. Jack, help him. Why do you think the model for John becomes shorter? Because a lot of you tell me the model will become shorter. But I want you to be able to tell me clearly why did it become shorter. Sky, tell me, why did it become shorter? From this length to this length. I can't hear you clearly. You need to speak loudly. Why? Sorry? See? Because we are removing 5 fruits, right? Correct or wrong? From 5 more fruits, John has 5 more, right? We want to remove the 5 extra fruits that John have, right? So that the number of fruits become equal, right? So since John now has lesser fruits, the total cost will be lesser, right? Yes or no? That's why the model becomes shorter. So we know that from here to here is actually 390, right? Then what about here to here? $2.50. Can you see what is happening? Okay, so now the difference in the cost, okay, is actually $2.50 plus $3.90. What do you get? $6.40. So the difference in cost is $6.40. Am I right or wrong? Yes. But do we know how many fruits are there? No. We don't know, right? But we can use the first model as a, this model as a hint, right? Yes. When there's 1 mango and 1 orange, the difference is 40 cents. How many fruits are there will cause the difference to become $6.40? Are you getting what am I trying to tell you? So if you understood what am telling you, right? What's the next step? $6.40 divide by 40 cents, right? So divide by 40 cents. Okay, we get 16. But now, I've got a question to ask you. Okay? What is the meaning of this number 16, Vikram? Can't hear you, sorry. 16 cents for what? Emma B, do you hear what he said? What did he say? Can you repeat? Difference in the number of fruits? No? Does it, but the number 16 means the difference in the number of fruits? No, right? Caroline, can you tell me what does 16 mean? What? 16 cents? Sets. 16 sets. Okay, since she said that it's 16 sets, now the next question, okay, to follow what she said. What does one set consist of? MRP. If she says it's 16 sets, what does one set consist of? Now I can accept 16 sets as a, but what does one set? If she's saying it's 16 sets, what does one set consist of? Sorry? Doesn't make sense already. Does anyone has another meaning for the number 16? Charlotte. What does 16 mean? $16 mangoes, right? Other than meaning 16 mangoes, what can 16 also mean? Which is, yeah, 16 mangoes, right? Isn't that so? Huh? Okay, so other than the number 16, other than it means 16 mangoes, what can the number 16 mean, Gabriel? It can also mean oranges, right? Because that means I have 16 here and have 16 here, right? Because I have 16 here and 16 here, that's why the difference is 640, yes or no? Because 16 multiplied by 40 cents will give you 640 difference, right? So I have 16 mangoes here. I have 16 oranges here. How many mangoes did Simon buy? We know Simon is 16, right? But if I want to know the number of oranges that John bought, how many is that? How do you get 21? 16 plus 5 equals to 21. Okay, so the answer here is 16. Caroline, are you sure? Do you understand what does 16 mean? Vikram, can you understand or not? You must understand this. Who needs me to explain this question again? Amish, yes? Because you know that, why? Okay, Vikram, Amish was asking me why I divide by 0.4. Because one mango and one orange, the difference is 40 cents. How many mangoes, how many oranges will result in a difference of 640? Understand or not? Because we want to know how many mangoes, how many oranges will result in a difference of 640. So I use 640 divided by 40 cents. I know that I have 16 mangoes, 16 oranges. Okay? Understand? Yes, Colin? $3.390 divided by? You try using a calculator, 390 divided. You can't, right? And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. No. In order to do this division, children, please pay attention. In order to divide by 40 cents, you must make sure that the fruits must be equal. If your fruits are unequal, you cannot do this at all. Because this 40 cents is, the difference, right, is for equal fruits. That's why I need to subtract off the 5. There's the reason why I do it. Okay? So I cannot immediately use 390 divided by 40 cents. I cannot use 390 divided by 40 cents. Because the number of fruits are equal. Unequal. That's why I cannot divide immediately. So first step, make the number of fruits equal. Then I can start solving it. Sky, can you understand or not? 16 from here. 640, the difference. Divide the difference for 1 mango, 1 orange, which is 40 cents. You get 16 what? That means I have 16 mangoes here, 16 oranges here. Do you understand? Jack, do you need to clarify anything? Yes, unequal number of fruits. Then we make them equal number of fruits. Yes, because we are removing 5 fruits. That's why the total cost become lesser. Okay? Anyone need to clarify anything or not? I'm trying to go slow because this I don't think you have done this last year. I'm quite certain. Some questions I know that you all have not done it. That's why I do it slowly. I want you let you all have the chance to ask questions. Anyone? Because this will be similar to one of your 46 or 47. I think is it the toy car? So if you understood this, you will be able to do that later. That's why I'm teaching you this first. Okay, so let's look at the next question. I'm going to move on to the next question. Can I begin? Yes. Damiel, can I begin? Stop playing with your pen against the wall. Okay? Right? So, Audrey and Keenan had $112 altogether to spend on the zoo trip. Audrey gave 1/3 of his share to Keenan, and their father gave $16 to Keenan. Keenan and Audrey then had the same amount of money. Okay, let's look at it. I'm going to draw a model for this. Okay, you know that first they are $112, right? Then Audrey gave 1/3 to Keenan. So there's this internal transfer. Can you see? There's Audrey, Keenan. So Audrey passed some of his money to Keenan. So the total will still remain as? Which is how much? The same is how much? The same, right, means $112, right? Okay? So, now, and their father gave $16 to Keenan. Okay? So, from the 112, now I have something from the external source, right? Coming in. So, 112, I will add $16, right? I'll get $128. Lastly, Keenan and Audrey then had the same amount of money. So, you see, Keenan, Audrey, they have the same amount of money in the end. Yes or no? And this is from the 112 which they have at the beginning. Ernest. See here. Bring your chest here. Jack, sit at his seat. Can you stop irritating me, Ernest? You're disrupting the class. You're not learning. Did I ask you to sit on the floor or not? I asked you to sit on the chair, right? That's why I asked you to bring a chair over, right? So we know that they have $112 and we need to add the $16 that the dad gave, right? And we get 128. And this 128, right, is shared equally between Keenan and Audrey, right? Because at the end, they have the same amount of money. So I know that 128 divided by 2 equals to $64. So I know that each of them has $64 right at the end. Okay, $64. Okay, now, because I need to find out how much did Keenan have at first. So this is a work backwards kind of question, right? Yeah. At first means I'm working backwards. Yes, Bjorn? Can you let me have the opportunity? Right? Okay, if you want to solve right, next time become a teacher. Okay, plenty of opportunity, right? The reason why I'm not giving you an opportunity is because last time my teacher never gave me the opportunity. I feel very deprived, so I wanted to become a teacher. Okay? Right? No, that was a joke. Yeah, that wasn't the truth. Yeah. Last time when I was younger, I wanted to volunteer my answer, but I felt I was too good for the teacher. That's why I kept my mouth shut. Yeah. I wrote my own rules. The student is always correct. When in doubt, refer to rule 1. I rewrote my own rules. Next time you write. You go secondary school, you write. I think first day you go detention already. Okay, now let's go back to the questions. Okay, so we know that this $64, right? Working backwards, you know that the father gave $16 to Keenan, right? That means this $16 here actually belongs to the... Yes or no? Which I need to remove if I want to draw my before model. Am I right? Okay. And another thing is, Audrey gave 1/3 of his share to Keenan. If Audrey gave 1/3 of his share to Keenan, okay, that means Audrey is left with what fraction? 2/3, which is how many units? 2 units, right? Okay, so we do step by step. First, we return we actually remove the $16 from Keenan, which is $64 minus $16, right? Which gives you $48. Okay? So this is $48. Yes? Now, I know that 2 units is equals to $64. 1 unit equals to $32. Now, because, right, okay, Keenan actually is holding on to $32 that's originally from Audrey, right? So I need to use $48 to return back the 1/3, right? Yes or no? Minus 32, and you get $16. Okay, so the question they can also ask you, how much did Audrey have at first, right? If they ask you how much did Audrey have at first, how much did he have at first? $96. So the question can ask you in both ways. Okay, so you must be ready. Okay, Jack, any problem or not? Ryan, any problem? Yongjian, can? Okay, let's move on to the next question. CA is not going to be easy, okay? That's why I'm doing all this preparation with you. That's why we started revision for a long time ago. If you haven't realized, we have been doing revision for a long time. Yeah, okay. So the 3 P6 topics covered is angles in geometric figures, algebra, and P6 fractions. The rest of the topics will be all from P5, which includes your P5 ratio, all that. I think you have the letter from the, yeah. So you need to take note of all this, okay? Right? Yeah, P5 ratio is tested. Okay? Now let's look at question 4. Cheryl had 5 times as much money as Jana. After Jana received $15 from her mother, and Cheryl spent $135 on a watch, Cheryl had 3 times as much money left as Jana. How much did Cheryl have at first? So, you want to use ratio, is it? Yes, you can use ratio, units and parts. Good. Okay. Do you all still remember I've taught you units and parts? Okay. So since you want to use that, let's do this together. Okay. Now, I have Jana and Cheryl. Okay. Now, give me the ratio of Jana to Cheryl. 1:5. Is it 1:5 or 5:1? Very good. Now, this is the before, right? Now, let's write down the after ratio. Normally, if I use Jana is to Cheryl, I'll also use Jana is to Cheryl. To prevent confusion, okay? You don't try to confuse yourself by using Jana to Cheryl, then Cheryl to Jana. Okay, or else all your units and parts will be haywire. Okay, so always remember that. So the after ratio, okay, Jana to Cheryl. Brennan. Hey, come on, give him a chance, right? Huh? He say 1:3. Then who's the one who Okay, so 1:3. So you know that one of them, it must be in units. Let's say this in units. This will be in parts. So now, Jana received $15 from her mom. So Jana received $15. When you receive, are you adding or are you subtracting? Adding 15, right? Then what about Cheryl? Cheryl spend means subtract or add? Subtract. And you subtract how much? Okay, now I have my two equations. 1 unit plus 15 equals to what? 1 part. Now, Ernest, tell me what's the next equation? 5 units minus 135 equals to 3 parts. Okay. Now that we have reached this stage, okay, the next step was to make the parts the same, right? Okay, so now to make the parts the same, I got 1 part and 3 parts. What must I use to make the parts the same? What is this thing called? Very good. Lowest common multiple, so this multiplied by 3. So I've got 3 units plus 45. 3 parts, very good. And 5 units. I think I couldn't even read my own handwriting. Okay, so I have 5 units minus 135. 3 parts. Next. Okay, so now we can see that 3 parts and 3 parts, right? I can start solving, right? Now, Xuan Wei, tell me what's the equation? Three U plus 45 equals to 5U minus 135. Okay, now, Vikram, tell me, how many units equals to how much? How many units equals to how much? Very good. 2U equals to? Are you sure? 2U equals to 90? No, you look here. $180. Do you understand why is it 180 or not? Yes. Jack, can I understand? You sure? Okay, I explained to you why is it 180. Now, to get the 2 units right, I have 3 units here, right or wrong? I bring over, it becomes subtract 3 units, yes? 5U minus 3U equals to 2U, yes or no? Yes. Since I have 45 here, I bring this over, it becomes plus 135, right? So 45 plus 135 equals to 180. Is that okay? You can do the other way, but then if you do the other way, right, you will get negative, which I don't want. Okay, we try not to do negative. It's get confusing. Okay, so 1 unit equals to 90. So what is the question asking for? How much did Cheryl have at first? Cheryl has how many units at first? Okay, so 5 units. 450. So you must write $450, right? Any problem with this? Can I move on? Deborah, clock started working already, right? You know the time very well, right? Your eyes should be on the clock or should be on the screen? I know. I saw your eyes moving to the clock. Okay? I ask you a simple question. Eyes should be on the screen or on the clock? Okay? Now let's look at the next question. Jean baked 210 more custard pudding than bread pudding. After selling 5/6 of the custard pudding and 1/3 of the bread pudding, she had 215 pudding left. What was the total number of pudding she baked at first? Okay. Normally, we would, because of the word at first, because of the word at first, we will draw which model first? After. But unfortunately, right, in this case, right, if you draw the after model first, it's tougher. So let me try to draw the before model first. We need to be very versatile. We must be able to draw from after to before, before to after. Okay, you must be very versatile, flexible regarding this. Okay? So, first, I draw a model to show you the custard pudding and the bread pudding. So I know that custard pudding is more than bread pudding by how many? Custard is more than bread by how many? So Jack read the question already? Okay. Now, after selling 5/6 of the custard pudding and 1/3 of the bread pudding, she had 215 pudding left. So this is the before. I want to sell away 5/6. Now, you look at this part of the custard pudding model. Okay, I need to cut this into 6 parts, right? But I have this 210. So it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to cutting. Please let me continue first. I can show you. Okay, I cut this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I cut this part into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this 210, can I also cut into 6 parts? Yes. So when I cut this 210 into 6 parts, one part of 210 is how much? 35. So what I have is, I can, no, cut it up first. So I have 35, right? And then the other portion will be 5 over 6, yes or no? Yes? So 5 parts is how much? 35 times 5 equals to 175. How come your calculator is slower than me? Okay, so please ensure that your 175 plus 35 gives you 210, okay? So now, she also sold 1/3 of the bread pudding, so I can cut it into 1/3, right? Yes or no? 3 parts. So I do some equalizing of units. This will be 2 units, 2 units, 2 units. Since each of this is 1 unit. Am I right? Okay? Now, I'm going to construct my after model. So custard and bread, I align my model. She sold 5 over 6. That means, in other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sold, right? Yes or no? Can you see the yellow portion is the part that's sold? Yeah. That means this 175 also sold. Am I right or wrong? Correct? Yeah. Now, she sold 1/3 of the bread pudding. 1/3 means how many units? Jack? No, not Jack. Sky. Huh? How many units? I heard some people say 4. So just now? 4 or 2? You sure it's 2 and not 4? I heard a lot of people shouting 4 just now. So is it 2 units or 4 units? You very sure? Why is it 2 units and not 4 units? Why 2 units, not 4 units? Okay, 1/3 of 6 units is 2 units, Colin Chi. Okay? So, Colin Chi, can you recommend the nail salon that you go to Lauren? No, I'm saying recommend. She's also doing her nails. Can you recommend to her which nail salon to go to? You know what he meant by that? You know what he meant by that? Got stapler? Finger, please. Finger. So Colin Chi was saying, go to the stapler nail salon. Okay. Right. Hey, hello, stapling your nails doesn't get you murdered. Okay, please, I don't know what's so fascinating about your nails. Okay, stop playing with your nails in class. Right? So, we know that 1/3 of the bread pudding was sold. So, can I draw my after model now? I can, right? So, for custard, okay, Adriana, what should I draw here? 1 unit and? Very good, 1 unit and 35. I have 1 unit and I have 35. Okay, what about my bread pudding? What should I draw here? Dylan. No, not this Dylan, Dylan Eldon. Draw 4 units. Okay, now 4 units, right? There's this question. I don't know 4 units. Is it equal length, longer or shorter. But does it matter? No. Okay, it does not matter. Supposedly I draw longer. I really do not know what is my value of 1 unit. Okay. Total. What's the total here? Can 215 as stated in the question, right? If you still do not know how to do now, please kill me. Honestly. After I've shown you until this step, you still do not know. Wait. Settle down. Okay? Kaylin, form the equation for me. Wait, you all are too noisy. I couldn't hear here. I want to form the equation. That means how many units equals to how much? Form it. 5 units equals to 215 minus 35 equals to 195. Honestly, I'm getting angrier. I couldn't even hear her. Are you all disagreeing with her? Then why is there so much commotion? Sorry, 180. Someone shouted. Okay, 185. 180. Hey, who's the one who keeps giving me the wrong information? Okay, so it's 100 and... Okay, so will you be able to find me 1 unit? Colin Chi? What is 1 unit? Who doesn't know that, right? Give me the answer. 36. Okay, so now we find 1 unit. What was the total number of pudding that she baked at first? So let's count the number of units she had at first. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you have another 6 here, right? It's 12 units, yes or no? 12 units equals to 36 times 12 equals to 400 and stop testing my patience. Last time I'm saying. So 432 plus 210 equals to, okay, the final answer is 642. Please write it down. Is there an answer blank for this question? Oh, right at the bottom. 642, is it? So let's look at the next question. Okay. Now, this question is very similar to the mangoes and oranges question, right? Correct? It's even more similar to the CA1, the last year CA1. Okay, I'm going to go through another one with you, so make sure you really know it, so that during your break time later you can solve that one extra question for me during your lunch time. What time is it now? Okay, because I'm a very kind teacher, let's stop here and continue later.